was the first time United had defeated Lemnos in 6 grand final clashes.
If you're a Shepparton United supporter looking for some celebrations, there was no trouble finding them this morning. A breakfast of bacon and eggs was washed down with plenty of beer as United players and supporters celebrated their exciting win against arch-rivals Lemnos. It was the first time in 6 attempts that United had defeated Lemnos in a grand final. But captain Jim Calafatis said history counted for little yesterday.
We proved yesterday that hoodoo means nothing to us. It's just history as far as we're concerned anyway. So we've really fixed them up there.
Lemnos took the lead at the 35th minute when Vasil Damianopoulos converted a penalty kick against United's John McCormick. 5 minutes later, United had the chance to equalise, but a headed goal to Milvin Muto was disallowed because he was offside. With only 90 seconds left to play, United equalised thanks to an own goal to Lemnos's George Razmovsky. An extra 20 seconds of extra time was played and United's Billy Latis kicked the winning goal with only 3 minutes left.
It was a physical match. You know, we both went in very hard, but they've got a few veterans in there, and I think they just ran out of legs, I think, honestly, because, I mean, as soon as it went into extra time, they just sort of faded away.
For United, which is coached by Ian Darlington, it was its second successive premiership. The win also gives the team the coveted club championship premiership double.
And there's the results. United 2 defeated Lemnos 1, and the reserves Cobram defeated Shepparton South 1-0.
Beaten. Reigning premiers Shepparton United go through to the North Eastern Soccer League Grand Final this weekend after defeating arch-rivals Lemnos yesterday. United 2 goals to secure a berth in what promises to be a fiery Grand Final.
United jumped Lemnos early in the game, posting the first of 2 goals after only 5 minutes of play. The team's captain-coach, Jimmy Calafatis, once again displayed the skill which secured the team a place in the finals race. The first half of the do-or-die match was no easy contest against top-side Lemnos.
It was a very physical match. We scored the first goal within the first 5 minutes, but our boys' credit, they defended very well, yeah.
Youngster Jason Mulkeen played a crucial role in dashing Lemnos's grand final hopes.
10 minutes from time, young Jason Mulkeen scored a cracker of a goal 20 metres out from goal, so we were very pleased for young Jason.
Although Lemnos squandered the odd chance to equalise, it applied pressure to last year's premiers to the final siren.
To Lemnos's credit, they did attack, they did put us under a lot of pressure, but then again, on our defenders' point of view, they did defend very well, so it was quite even actually the second half.
United will now meet Tatura in next Sunday's grand final at Central Park. In other matches played
flag. In a repeat of last year's grand final, the arch-rivals took to the field for the toughest match of the season, and at the end of the day, a mere 1 goal snatched victory for United.
We'll fight, fight, fight for United till we...
Celebrations started again first thing this morning for a jubilant Shepparton United. The League Cup is now firmly in the hands of United players, but yesterday the side's early form was threatening its chances of a 4th successive flag.
I think the first half was a half of missed opportunities. You know, we probably had 5 clear shots at goals and we just couldn't convert.
But Tatura also failed to make any mark early in the game. Teams went into the half-time break at 0-0. In the second half, United picked up momentum and after more missed opportunities, finally broke the ice.
Late in the second half, Peter Radic scored a glorious goal, 10 metres out with a header. And I think to Tatura's credit, they did push up after that. They threw caution to the wind and pushed up, but our defence was equal to the task and they defended valiantly.
After 90 minutes of tough and often bitter soccer, United were winners 1-0. Ironically, it was Rocky Bagnato who opted for a soccer grand final in preference to an Australian rules preliminary game, who gave away a match-winning penalty. United has won 4 successive premierships, its second in as many years against Tatura. Meanwhile, in other games, Lemnos beat Tatura in the reserve, and Shepparton South scored a clean sweep, winning the under-16, 14 and 12 competitions.
And finally, tonight, district racing will be conducted at Seymour tomorrow for their cup meeting. There'll be 8 races, the first at 12:20.
But what is his origin? Some say he'll...
Watch Vic TV from Sunday, September
on Saturday and
be a winner.
Good evening. Chance at a grand final berth this weekend when it faces Tatura in the North East Soccer League preliminary final. United lost out against Ugali last weekend and want revenge, but must win over an improved Tatura to get there.
United didn't have the energy when it counted last Sunday. In overtime, they lost to Ugali 3-1. The Shepparton team are hungry for revenge over the New South Welshmen, but need to overcome Tatura this Sunday in the preliminary final to get the chance.
So we're out for a little bit of revenge. We've got to beat Tatura so we can take on Ugali in the grand final.
Tatura have improved beyond belief this year, making a relatively easy entry into this year's finals. Determined as ever to reach the grand final, they will have their best lineup awaiting United on Sunday on their home turf.
Tatura on the other side, they're a terrific team, the best team in for the year, the strongest team they've got. They're not going to be easy. They're going to give us a very hard game.
Finals experience will play a large role in the outcome of this game. United, with 4 consecutive flags behind them, are on the hunt for a 5th.
I'm positive, yeah. I was positive against Ugali too, but I'm more positive this week than I was last week, I think. We're going to give Tatura a run.
The Shepparton Hockey Association stages its grand finals at McEwen Reserve tomorrow. The Women's A League semi-final with a 20-point win over Kyabram in yesterday's replay. In a game far from the defeated the Wangaratta Rovers 8-13-61, and in the first semi-final, Corowa Rutherglen 22-15, 147 defeated Wangaratta 14-6-92. To soccer now, and Shepparton United has won through the preliminary final of the North East Soccer League to get its chance at league leader Ugali in the grand final. The win didn't come easy though, only winning 1-0.
United has fought hard all season to maintain its premiership form that has dominated the league for the last 4 years. The inclusion of Ugali in the draw has forced them to adopt another plan of attack, just like the team has had to take another line to the grand final after losing to the New South Welshmen last week. United has taken the hard trail to the grand final, having to win over Tatura in Sunday's preliminary final, a game that could have gone either way.
Either side could have scored. Fortunately, we worked out that whoever scored first would end up winning the game, and fortunately it was us. Tatura had a few chances. They were a bit unlucky, but so had we, but we ended up getting that one goal, and that's what won the game.
Revenge played a big part in the game. United are seeking their 5th premiership and want to return the honours to Ugali for the defeat in the second semi a week ago.
Well, the boys have been waiting for this. They have a little bit of a revenge session against Ugali now. We have to prove it. We've won the last 4 years in a row, and Ugali have come into the league the first time and taken clean sweep everything, and our boys are out to prove that we can make it 5.
Shepparton Hockey Club, the Cricketers, have won its 9th consecutive. Shepparton winning 5-3. In the reserves, Lemnos defeated Ugali 2-1, and in the under-16s, Ugali scored another win, 3-0 against Shepparton South. The Goulburn Valley Kart Club has been overwhelmed by its weekend tournament. Ugali has made a clean sweep, winning the league's highest honour. The premiership title came on Sunday, defeating Shepparton United 5-3.
After firing through 3 goals in the first half, Ugali took an early second half lashing from Shepparton United, but not before plenty of opportunities went by unnoticed. It took several minutes before United could properly set its sights, but when they did, it all came together. Jim Califatis, the goal scorer. Within 4 minutes, the sharpshooter was back again, this time to notch up his 3rd for the match. This left the score at 3-all as both teams fought hard to get a stranglehold on the game. However, it was Ugali that withstood the pressure. Frank Bonacorsi put through his second to give Ugali a late edge. But it was his 3rd and final goal for the game that gave the match some spice and a lead that United simply couldn't match.
A magnificent win by Ugali. They thoroughly deserved to take out the Premiership Cup. They withstood a very strong challenge from United to go on and win the match 5-3.
It was a great effort from Ugali, only in their first year in the North East Soccer League. The disappointing news is that the same dominance can be expected next year.
We can look forward to seeing Ugali a very, very strong contender for sure.
2 of the region's badminton sides have come home state champions following the week.
In yesterday's second semi-final. And as Andrea Thompson reports, a win for the Lemnos junior side means all 5 teams are preparing for grand final encounters.
It took Lemnos 7 minutes to put the first goal in the net when leading scorer Chris Radevsky magically delivered the ball from midfield. Lemnos fought off United's strong defence on several occasions, assisted by right winger Billy Dikanovsky's clever moves to cross the ball into the goal mouth. With 8 minutes remaining to half-time, United scored its only goal to set up an exciting second half. But it proved frustrating and scoreless, with both defence lines clearly blocking all goal opportunities. Lemnos is now hoping to establish a league record by ending the season with all 5 sides in grand finals.
It's not only our seniors, it's the reserves. They're also straight in, the under-16s, the under-14s. So we're just hoping on Sunday one more team, the under-12, and I believe it's a record 5 teams in the grand final.
Shep United will have a second chance at a grand final berth on Sunday against reigning Premier Ugali.
A lot of people are saying that we'll sort of play certain players that are over the age barrier, so I think that's going to work in well for us. I don't think a week's rest will affect us in any way.
Andrea Thompson, Vic News.
And for tonight, Dennis, that's all in sport. Thank you, Glenn. Sunday's preliminary final encounter against Ugali. Andrea Thompson reports United is trying for its 3rd consecutive grand final berth.
Shepparton United will go into Sunday's final with a strengthened midfield in what's tipped to be a repeat performance of last year's grand final showdown against Ugali.
I think we've got a very good midfield. Our defence is probably strengthening with Michael back in. It depends on our forward line players. If they can put the goals away, we'll probably win.
The team blames a poor start and a rattled defence for last week's narrow loss to Lemnos and is out to capitalise on every goal opportunity. While the sides are considered well matched, Shepparton's main obstacle is likely to be Ugali's Richard Watts, renowned for his powerful strikes.
He's a very good player. Yeah, he's a concern with all the rest of the players, but I think we're good enough to come out on top. We've got a player in mind to stay with Richard Watts, so I think he'll do the job.
Shepparton is also demanding a sharp performance from star striker Peter Radzitsis, although scoring is expected to be shared by a versatile forward line. The team also loses its home ground advantage, with the finals now relocated to Tatura. Andrea Thompson, Vic News.
And provincial racing was at Hamilton today, so let's check the totes. After defeating Shepparton United for the chance to meet Lemnos in the grand final. The reigning champion overcame the wet conditions to beat United 3-2. Celia Horgan has more.
Brilliant sunshine during yesterday's preliminary final couldn't hope to dry up the soggy surface at the Tatura Recreation Ground, and the players suffered accordingly, slipping and sliding all day. Coming off last week's loss at the hands of Lemnos, Shepparton United began the game with fire, but Ugali put out the flames.
Just after half-time, it was a 1-0 result at half-time, so we come out and a couple silly mistakes and a corner come across and they scored from it, and our heads dropped a bit and they kind of got a bit of momentum and went from there.
United captain coach George Zurcas says it's a disappointing way to end the season after generally consistent, strong performances. But he has plans to return to the fore next year.
Pre-season will be one main aim to get the players to do pre-season. We didn't do a pre-season this year, so that's one big goal I've got.
And the diplomatic United chief is not prepared to tip next week's winner.
Both sides have got equal players, so whoever creates the chances and puts them away will win. So it's pretty hard with soccer to pick a side to win. So.
Celia Horgan, Vic News.
Albury-Wodonga women's soccer team, the SS Ugali, has won its 4th successive North Eastern Soccer League premiership at the expense of Shepparton United. But the grand final favourites were given an early shock after United scored the first goal in the opening minutes.
Shepparton United was desperate to bring Ugali's bid for a 4th successive pennant to a grinding halt. The grand final favourites had other ideas, and most experts tipped them before the kick-off. United had all the play early, and Jimmy Kalafatis had a chance to head home the opening score, but his shot was wide. Ugali's first casualty was Anthony Martinello, brought down in the middle of a hectic opening. But the skill level of both teams remained high despite the pressure. And it was United's Jason Trinanis who opened his team's account soon after. Shepparton United's bench was delighted with the start, and suddenly the pressure was on the favourites. Ugali had its chance to reply minutes later, but Jeff Bortolin's header was wide of the net. It started a tit-for-tat exchange as both sides shared the offensive duties, United's George Nitsu entering the fray without success. Like any grand final, the pressure was intense, and that led to some poor tackling. United could have taken a 2-goal lead before half-time, but the attempt to make Ugali pay for a slow start didn't come off. The seesawing contest continued. The Ugali offence convinced an offside call was the right one, but the referee remained unmoved. United went in at half-time leading 1-0, but a 3-goal second half by Ugali allowed it to continue an unbeaten run in grand finals, which started
minor premiership, inflicting Shepparton United's first loss of the season in Sunday's top-of-the-table clash. In one of the best halves of soccer for the season, the New South Wales side went into the break 3-1 up, thanks to a double from Joe Katsanariti. It finished with a 3-2 win to move 4 points clear at the top of the ladder. In other games, Shep South hammered Cobram 8-0 and Ugali beat Tatura 2-0. And in the Australian Superbike, for 7 seasons, Shepparton United has dreamt of again holding the North Eastern Soccer League Premiership Cup aloft. It did it in 1998 and has been back to the well twice since, in 2000 and 2001, but both times have returned dry. This weekend will be its best chance yet, and this time it'll start as a red-hot favourite, having thrashed its grand final opponents, reigning champs Hanwood, just a fortnight ago.
4-1, week off. Hanwood are going to take a couple of injuries into the game. There's a couple of blokes at 50-50.
Those Hanwood players heading into the season's biggest game under injury clouds include Aaron Sergia and coach Michael Mustano. Both are almost certain to play, giving United a further edge on top of its impressive 2-1 season record against Hanwood. But the Blues also have an edge when it comes to the final lineups. Their midfield is in stellar form, and are the forwards, while their often ridiculed defence seems to have run into touch at the right time of the year and will hold greater confidence by Hanwood's struggling forwards, who have scored just once in its 2 finals.
The problem for Hanwood in the past couple of weeks is in their last third, they just haven't been able to score goals because their tall 6'4" striker, Joseph Contanzariti, got injured. First 5 minutes of round 13 against Tatura and hasn't played since.
Meanwhile, up the other end, the key to a Blues victory will lie with star striker import Chris Oboki.
And he's been one of the form strikers of the year. He's been a very good player for Shepparton United, not only this year but also last year. And he's coming off the back of a hat-trick.
The game will be played at Tatura this Sunday, beginning at 3 p.m. Roger Aldridge, Win News.
Former Shepparton United player and current Melbourne AFL vice-captain Adam Uze has re-signed with the Demons. Uze's signature ended speculation, the crafty forward. Eastern Soccer League Grand Final.
Join the hottest minds in...
Field back-to-back North Eastern Soccer League premierships in the most stunning way yesterday, winning 5-4 in a penalty shootout. Deadlocked at full time and after extra time, Hanwood keeper Khalid Al-Sharifi became the hero with a brilliant diving save to clinch the title.
It was the sweetest of victories in one of the great North Eastern Soccer League grand finals. Back-to-back premierships for Hanwood in the most sensational of circumstances, but it almost wasn't to be as Shepparton United made a late charge for victory. With just a minute remaining in regular time, Hanwood keeper Khalid Al-Sharifi pulled off his first match-winning save of the day, sending the game into extra time. And like regular time, it was the Blues that dominated extra time, but their crafty play proved to no avail, missing targets close to goal. Nearing the completion of the extra half, Hanwood made a last-ditch effort for goal, which almost found the back of the net. That miss sent the game into a penalty shootout. Hanwood kicked off proceedings, Anthony Agrista finding the back of the net. United levered when Al-Sharifi's contact sent the ball over the line. Blues keeper Joey Perkovic guessed right, saving the strike from Caleb Musitano, giving the Blues an early advantage. And they kept converting until Paul Power missed. 4-4 after the first round of shots. It went to sudden death, but the pressure didn't get to Hanwood's Dom Shripper. And so it came down to one. Ahmed Al-Mukhtir, the striker, Khalid Al-Sharifi, the keeper. And it was Al-Sharifi who took the honours as Hanwood sealed back-to-back premierships. The win, oh so sweet, for Hanwood coach Michael Musitano.
We had nothing in the tank. We gave it our all, and it just comes to show that at the end of the day, you know, it worked wonders.
Roger Aldridge, Win News.
Morrison medalist Matt Burns has capped off a brilliant individual season by taking out Shepparton's senior best and
looks to me like one of the